qualify to the next round here. As we head on into the drafting phase, Alter Ego is going to be on blue side first pick, with Blacklist International opting for red side as second pick.
Now that's not long at all. And now get in, Alter Ego, they're the one that actually banned out that Matilda. Blacklist International, now they gotta consider this. Do they want to ban out that Granger? The only thing is, if Blacklist International bans out the Granger, Alter Ego, it's pretty free for them to pick up the CEO or the Harif. So Alter Ego is looking pretty good in the draft right now.
Well, I think that Blacklist International can just wait and see, right? If Alter Ego gets rid of either Harith or Granger, that's when they want to consider it. If not, there's no reason to do so. You'll take one, then pick up the other. If they don't really like dealing with Granger just in general, they might as well ban it
Joy
now. Yes, Joy is wide open. So this is the scary part, right? What's the gamble here? Do they want to give Mr. MP the Joy, or do they prefer the Granger?
Ooh, yeah, that's very interesting here. Blacklist definitely have options. They can just have a throwaway ban here to let all the options out, because I don't know, personally for me, I would still ban out that Granger, because Alter Ego, will they be confident to first pick that Joy, you know?
Are they? I wouldn't put it past Gibe though. Then again, it could clash with the overall team fighting style that Alter Ego want to go for. So they ban out Wan instead and let Alter Ego take first pick of the litter. Let's see what it's going to be.
Yeah, Blacklist International is opening it up. They're just like, okay, just a throwaway ban. But what two heroes would they want? Because I imagine Alter Ego wants to pick up this Granger, because if you pick up the CEO, Blacklist just gets the Joy, and you know, same in between. You pick up the Joy, they pick up the CEO. I don't know. Personally, for me, this should be a Granger pick, but yeah, I think Alter Ego is thrown off a bit with this 1-1 ban. They pick up the Harif instead. Wow.
Okay. All right, they get the Harith, so now two power picks could be falling into the hands of Blacklist International, unless they want to have some forward thinking to start imagining what the composition is going to look like as a whole, rather than just lane matchups. Yes, technically, putting the Granger here is going to be a little awkward, but at the same time, Joy is just so juicy as well.
Oh yeah, and there you go. The Joy has been picked up. The thing is, Blacklist don't even need to take the Granger now. They can just take it third pick, because there's no way Alter Ego picks up Harif and Granger. So Blacklist, they can get a priority, say, XP laner. Wait, no, they just pick up the Granger now. I guess just like, okay, we're just gonna hide it.
Okay, that's interesting to see. I think they also want to set up for a winning matchup for Mr. J and Pigman for once, right? Because in both matches, it's been a little awkward for him to play with Nino having winning matchups of his own. So they're going to give him the standard in that Hilda, Alter Ego. They lock in the Suyo. They're very confident in the Suyo versus Joy matchup. But they're also making sure they have the counter in the Tigreal just in case. And Tigreal works really well, especially in the earlier stages of the game before Granger gets that Malefic Roar.
Gideon, this is where I want to take this out of this draft a bit and just talk about, if only Munton buffed Dyroth enough, then maybe Hilda wouldn't be that big of a problem. By the way, the Odette got banned because Odette is strong against Joy, in case anyone is wondering.
Yes. I mean, it used to be the natural counter up. I mean, we saw it for the very first time prior to it coming in from I
think it was M5.
Yeah, all the way back then. It is one of the few classics for those who are getting into the esports now for MLBB. But Angela banned for the side of Alter Ego. They want to make sure they take away that combination. Blacklist International now holding priority. What are you thinking here? Because yes, I do miss the good old days of EXP laners actually having bigger impact towards the early mid stages of the game. But now that we play a more utility role, are we thinking that, you know, the high loss might just be the lock in here? Yes, they do have the Hilda technically, but the fact that they're getting rid of Glue does give me vibes of it could be a Haji mid lane Hilda.
Yes, I'm thinking the same thing, because then they can pick up the Phovias, right? Phovias, Hilda. This Granger is gonna have a lot of range, because I was thinking for Alter Ego, just pick up the CC, because it's still okay going up against the Joy, going up against the Granger. But yeah, with that Glue ban, they might pick up the Phovias, and Phobia is going to be very strong going up against Harif and Suyo.
This is an interesting draft coming up for Blacklist International. A lot of little, you know, tidbits here and there, but no guarantees just yet. And Alter Ego, they got to rack their brains a little bit. They've already denied the Angela, which again might.
I would ban Phovias.
Oh, you would ban the Phovias? I think
I would.
I feel like it's okay if you give Phovias over to Blacklist International because then you lock in Lucas for yourself, right? Oh wait, no, and then it's still a losing matchup. You're right.
It's a losing matchup. It's a losing matchup because Lucas is strong against Joy, but not strong against Phovias. So you need some kind of what you call it, like armor reduction. I still think CC is fine because it's HP percent damage. If you want more tankiness, maybe even consider something like the Gatot Kacha, I guess, so that you can taunt them and give a little bit more time for the Hive to do work. But I don't know. Like I call the Phovias. Looks like Blacklist International got what they want. Still go with the CC. Final pick here. Mid. Oh, Valentina. All right.
Valentina. I think Valentina is generally okay. It's still a pretty scary matchup. You don't exactly have like any valuable ults, but the fact that I was thinking that maybe Alter Ego, they didn't want to go for the hard read of, hey, you're going to take Phovia, so therefore I'm going to ban out something other than a mid laner here, so to pick up, you know, Vexana for yourself, at least you have some form of self-peel, you have some way to actually wombo combo with the implosion coming in from Tigreal, but they didn't want to take that risk. They're going to take Valentina instead, and I'm interested to see what Blacklist International are going to do. Are they going to be like, here are no useful ults for you?
Yeah, they could pick up something like the Cho, if you want to avoid that, like something that can engage, maybe even potentially lock down either the Suyo or the Harif. Because oh, Florin though! Oh, I did not see that Florin coming, not gonna lie.
What? Okay. How do they control? Ooh, this one's a tough one. This one's a toughie. How are they gonna control the mid lane now? They're gonna have Concussive Blast. Yes, you have like ultra sustainable mid lane, but you're always gonna be late on the draw. So I'm going to assume that Blacklist International have multiple outs in their side lanes, and they're gonna use MP as the main driving force.
I mean, here's just the thing. My experience of the current meta, healing metas are honestly very strong late game. Florins, the Matildas, whatever it is, Angela, because they need Flash of the Oasis plus one more, but then after that, any kind of burst damage, it won't be enough. Like even with the Zaman Force and then full chrono dashing in and out, with just a few heals, all that damage is denied. And then after that, the Granger just toss out the Rondo, the Death Sonata. So it's all about sustaining, where your opponents, whether they like it or not, they won't have enough damage. And then eventually you'll just win the fight.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh boy. This is gonna be an interesting one. AE gonna be on blue side up against Blacklist International on the red side. This mid lane is such a big question mark here because Randall is gonna find a lot of value in it unless he gets chunked out super early on. But even so, it looks like it's gonna be a purple start for Mr. MP. He wants to end up towards the top side of the map unless he wants to do a half clear and then head down to the bottom side to play around outplayed once more. Anything in the emblems that catch your interest?
A little bit. So we see that Granger, they have two options. Either go for the Assassin Emblem or the Fighter Emblem. With the Fighter Emblem, you know he's just going to be poking out a lot. But it looks like Outplay goes for the Assassin Emblem, understanding that he's going to be the majority of the damage. So he goes for the Assassin Emblem. So if Outplay gets taken down, then higher chance for Alter Ego to win the fight. But Blacklist International, they just got to take the chance, pick up the Assassin Emblem, so it's something for Alter Ego to take note of.
I do think it is interesting that he's also going for Festival of Blood. Again, it's one of those choices where it feels like he wants to either think about building into War Axe, because I don't think he's worried about... Actually, no. I think he has to actually go for Sky Piercer, right? They don't have strong finishers unless MP gets like a huge lead.
Yeah, and honestly right now, Alter Ego, they have a very limited time to win the game, but they can't really win any kind of pokes because in mid, having this Hilda actually wins you a lot of trades. And now look at Alter Ego, they're waiting for someone, and Haji, he just heals up.
Yeah, Mr. Pinkman is going to be joining in here. He hasn't hit level 4 just yet. He won't be able to start chasing down his targets. This is the big problem we were initially worried about. Now, forcing out the Vengeance early on It looks like MP is trying his best with the electrifying beats. Initially was on the turtle, but instead had to turn and divert his attention away because his team is just not prepared for this neutral take just yet. Mr. Pinkman, he's already level 4, jumps in, straight in for Nino and finds it, gets pushed away, but even so, Haji is able to find a trade back, a 2-for-1 in favor of Blacklist.
Dude, that's so tanky. Roundel now goes in, maybe trying to get a triple kill here. Also low, MP gets taken down. Haji sure secures the turtle, but now Roundel has a lot of options. He wants Haji, but Haji is so fast. Roundel still wants to go back and still doesn't get it.
Okay, Roundel made the smart choice. He decided to use the dash to get out rather than to go in further to try and go for a reset. Mainly because he just doesn't have enough mana. It's so early on into the game, but that was quite the brawl, and Blacklist is playing on a very fine line, really abusing that early game power and not to mention sustainability.
Oh yeah, now Gaby has to get away, but JM Pinkman is just chasing after him. And Blacklist International, honestly, even if they don't get killed, they're fine. They just want to slow them down. They just want enough time for the Florian to get items. And then after that, you just look at Alter Ego, type Alter, and just be like, hey guys, GG, good luck for your next matches.
Yes, of course, they have to go into all chat to make it known to them.
Yeah.
But with the mid lane, once again, being pushed out very early on by Alter Ego, they're diverting their attention towards the bottom side of the map. Now, it looks like Outplayed has been able to win over the River Crab a number of times against Highs in this match, so they want to alleviate some pressure, let Highs catch back up into this matchup, especially against Outplayed, who's, again, going to be the main win condition for Blacklist International. He has to be the big finisher.
Well, something to note of as well, Gideon, is that Blacklist International, 0 purifies.
Oh, you're right.
Dreams has very good opportunities to get them. So Blacklist International, they need to have this mental stamina to always remember there's a Tigreal. There's a Tigreal, there's a Tigreal. Keep your distance, because the moment they like forget the Tigreal exists, Dreams can just turn the tables around.
You know what? I'm also surprised that Outplayed is also taking Flicker for himself, right? Because even if we're not thinking about Implosion, just the curtain call alone from Nino, it's a bit of an issue, right? You flicker, if you get locked down to 2 people, you can't even flicker away. So I think that there's a lot of angles. Hold on, Gebe. He's trying to lock down Haji as much as he can. Implosion comes on the through, stunning up Mr. Pinkman himself, forcing out the Vengeance. Haji is trying his best, but he can't sustain any longer. But with the help of the Death Sonata, they find one as MP tries to run away. No, he gets hit, and Highs is not letting him run for free. It's going to be a 2-for-1 this time in favor for Alter Ego. I thought for a moment Outplayed stole it. Never mind, it's a 3-for-1 on top of the turtle for Alter Ego.
This is best case scenario for Alter Ego, and Highs is making this first pick Harif work, because going up against the Joy, usually Joy wins the matchup going up against Harif. But oh, hold on, looks like Alter Ego, they have to go away. Haji is chasing them out, but no, they want to fight back. MP goes in, Haji is so low, Nino grabs the kill. MP, that might have been a mistake, because Gaby gets a killing spree.
The curtain call, finding max value here. If it's an isolated target, maybe Haji has a chance to live, but locked down against another frontliner, there's nothing you can do. And while this has been happening, bot tier 1 will eventually collapse. His first item power spikes are starting to roll in for Alter Ego.
Yeah, we can also see that Pinkman does want to do a little bit more damage. So he first items goes for that War Axe. And yeah, Blacklist International, if they lose by 2,000 gold, honestly, it's fine. But now they're losing by 3,000. So Alter Ego definitely has a big advantage here. But again, they're on a... Their time is very, very limited. Eventually, the Florian will get the Blast of the Oasis, and then at that time, it's going to be much, much more difficult to deal with any members of Blacklist International.
Honestly, we'll see, because again, I am a little scared for Phobiuses who want to first item the War Axe in the first place. Yes, it's very, very useful, and it's powerful even, especially in the earlier stages of the game, but then you run into the problem of being unable to really hard sustain against some of the members from the side of Alter Ego, especially if you get CC'd and don't dodge the abilities, right? You just get punished even harder if you're unable to, you know, dodge the initial hits.
I do agree now. Haji taking a lot of damage. That's so much coming in from Roundel as well as Gaby, but it looks like Gaby will get the kill with the Soul Sever. And now Nino is chasing MP away. Alter Ego is using this opportunity to start controlling the jungle. Now if Alter Ego wants, they have two options. They can go for mid, they can go for top. And they could also just not go for it. Let the turrets get the minions, so that Blacklist is just denied of gold.
Yep, and this is honestly very comfortable for AE, right? They have Nino just sitting on the top side, just be the watchman, count how many people show up on that top side, and if by any chance that MP the King does happen to go over, just take him out. They're not worried about that. Nino is in a very comfortable position, not only in lane, but has been doing so much in these team fights as Alter Ego cut off these rotations to find a T2 on the bot side of the map.
Yeah, at 7 minutes of the game, this is very good timing coming in from Alter Ego. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Persada still has not gotten the first item just yet. And now outplayed, he is forced to go for a Sea Halberd a little bit earlier, just so that he can deal with some of the sustain, especially coming in from Nino. Alter Ego is just taking turrets over turrets over turrets at this point.
Yep, I mean, this is the tempo that we were talking about, right? This is what the meta has been all about. When you have that advantage, make sure that you can flaunt it in the faces of your opponent and suffocate them as early as possible, because the early game is very short. The mid game is especially long, but once you reach that 10 to 11 minute mark, you better have those 3 core items ready to go.
Yeah, we're looking at the gold leaderboard here. Highs is 6,000, and if we're looking at outplay, a little bit over 1,500 difference here just from the gold lead. And this is a very big difference, because this does mean that Highs will get that holy crystal very, very fast.
Yep, and you can tell that the stat checking is becoming very evident. Mr. Pinkman can't sustain as hard as he wants to, and even Haji in the front line getting chunked out here. The fear is great, but Nino is just creating so much space. He has nowhere to retreat to, even when he has sprint.
I gotta tell you, Gideon, it's rare to see a Hilda die that fast. Like, Haji is not having a good time. 1-4-1 as a tank, it's okay to throw bodies, but that kind of makes it so that one of your win condition is out, and now Zaman Force has been used onto JM Pikmin, and just like Haji, he gets taken down immediately.
They just have no disengage. They're just hoping that the frontliners can actually sustain against the raw damage of Alter Ego. And now that Heiza has got the Holy Crystal 9 minutes 31 seconds into the game, he is hitting everything on time, and this snowball is not going to stop. Zaman Force being popped again by Heiz as he's going to crack open the mid inhibitor 9 minutes 43 seconds into the game. Haji trying to run into that backline, but Roundel is playing a strong game as the electrifying beats coming out. He flickers away. Is he going to be able to survive? No, the Leonin catches him as he jumps right back in with the help of that Temporal Rain underneath his inhibitors. Nicely done by Blacklist International as they do find Roundel, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, MP now is utilizing the heal. We can definitely see the heal helping out MP quite a lot. He's able to sustain in between, I believe, 3 members of Alter Ego just now. And you were talking about it, Gideon. Now Outplay does have that
Sky Piercer.
Sky Piercer, thank you very much. But, oh, it's very, very low. Now MP is going to get taken down by Highs. Highs. I gotta say, man, next season for MPLID, you gotta look at this guy.
Dude, AE, they've got Highs and they're ready to go. This is looking so devastating. How is Blacklist International going to even delay it, right? They don't have high ground defense. They wanted to win early, and now it's an endgame scenario.
As Zaman Force popped in, they're just going for that Crystal Gem. Pikmin trying to delay it, but looks like it's GG. Alter Ego defeats Blacklist International.
Man, and it has to end like this. A 2-1 victory for Alter Ego. A